So now the war ends. They've made a fortune. They're the richest people in the world at the time. After this war ends and the government stopped needing them for their money and services and their transactions and their lending, they start to notice, like, hey, wow, these kings and queens are being a lot less responsive. I'm not really getting invited to the parties anymore. I'm not noticing a quick response when I reach out to them. This is weird. So they do everything possible. They try to walk the walk and talk the talk and ingratiate themselves upon this nobility class, but it's just not working. They still have their anti-Semitic views, these nobility do. These countries, they just didn't need to borrow money anymore, so they had no reason to reach out to the Rothschilds, or so they thought. One day, imagine it's one of these 1800s royalty parties where the boom, out of nowhere, the bond market in every European country simultaneously just collapses. Like, I'm talking 80% drop. Boom. The average person might not know why this is important, but the worst, most catastrophic thing that could happen to a government's economy is for the bond market to collapse, because not only are you losing money that was lent to you, because when the bond market goes down, that means that people are pulling back their money that they had lent to you. So simultaneously, you're losing money that you had lent to you at your disposal, and the interest rates go from a normal rate like 2 or 3% to like 10 to 15 to 20% if everybody's selling, because as less people own the bonds, the rate has to go up to make it more attractive to people. So when rates go up, it means that you're paying a higher interest rate on all of your debt. So the government start freaking out. They're like, what the hell is this? What's going on? Well, what was going on was that as the Rothschild brothers have been trying to do it the polite way, the nice way, to ingratiate themselves upon these people, they were slowly accumulating positions in the bond market of each of these countries, their designated countries. They're like, all right, guys, we'll try this a few more times, but plan B, crash the bond markets if they won't let us be part of the inner circle. So what they do, boom, simultaneously sold their entire bond position in their given country at the same time. And this put the fear of God into these kings and queens. And they basically went back to them on their hands and knees and said, okay, please make it stop. Like, yeah, you're in our circle. You're in the circle. So from that point on, they were as good as royalty. That makes me think of a quote I saw in here in one of these books. It said, quote, when you have enough money to wage war, you're a king in all but name. So yes, these guys were kings in all but name. They had more money than most European governments. If you want to know the direction the series is going in and the sources that I've used and the books that I'm using especially, join my Patreon. Recently started a group called the Forbidden Book Society, and the main books that they're trying to remove from circulation, I'm going to be posting on the Patreon, telling you what they're about and where you could find them. Most importantly, a special community for the people who are like us, because there's not a lot of people like us. It's for all the people who asked all the annoying questions in class, who bring up the crazy topics when they're talking with their friends, and all their friends want to do is talk about sports or what they want to eat for dinner. You talk about, hey, who's pulling the strings behind the scenes? So sign up for the Forbidden Book Society Patreon. The link is below. I'll see you there.